Hey, I want to make this video to go over what I think is a really unique and really good variant of the ED Contagion Lich. It's kind of just the same normal setup, Essence Drain Contagion, Effigy Despair. I'm manually casting Despair, mainly for Decaying Hex and actually having Magnitude, Blasphemy because I run Rupture, and it's pretty standard when you look at it like this. There's a little bit of weirdness here, I'll go over that later. But the main part of the build that makes it different is I run this unique amulet where life regen applies to energy shield. I run Eternal Youth, which makes it so flasks apply to my energy shield. You could replace this in theory with the belt, but I felt that the reduction in healing is just ass, so I prefer to get it this way. And of course, I'm running it all with Eternal Life. Um, I really don't like relying on ES recharge and like specking in the recharge rate and shit like that. I think it's ass. I think it's a lot of points. And with my build, I can afford to run Event Horizon and Spaghetti. I think that's actually a really nice benefit. Um, but I have to admit, at least at this point in the game, that I am limited by the fact that I don't have a +2 spells on Amulet. It is an overall DPS decrease, but I have a constant at current 400 energy shield a second. Rain or shine, no nothing, no delay. It's always on, and then I can also use my health pot to fill it up. So I'm gonna get into some gameplay first before I go over the build. I tried to choose mods that were pretty hurtful towards the build, but honestly, all it is just 2 proj and some stun, and then I'll cover it afterwards. All right, so that was the gameplay. It's not the fastest, especially on the boss. I think the mapping is totally reasonable. I kind of wanted to like quote unquote full clear, just to like show off Rupture, Contagion. Uh, this build has a lot of AOE. Kind of wanted to show that off. I think I could have done it faster, or I could have picked a faster map, but I think that's a balanced representation. Um, Casting Contagion, the Essence Drain, is pretty much the primary combo. That's what you work off of. You can cast Effigy right after, right before. It has enough duration with this build. It has 12 seconds of duration, so you can kind of do it whenever. That'll help if your DPS isn't cutting it. Despair applies a curse, so in theory you could, and you'll see this on some totem builds, just cast Despair Effigy. I don't think my Despair casted, but it's fine. And the Effigy will just shoot everything in range. Don't sleep on Effigy AoE. I know people call it single target because it is, but it'll shoot every target in range with a curse on it. So, yeah, that's kind of the rotation. I never use Sigil Power. I have it. I plan on using it, maybe. My cast speed's not very high. I think cast speed is unneeded. I think pathing over to this node to get these cast speeds, I just don't think it's worth it. I might consider it now, just to get the jewel socket with my last, like, 11 points or so. We'll see. But for the time being, I'm pretty happy with it now. I'm still pretty broke. I wanted to get this out now. I'm trying to get exposure for this build because I want to improve it. But I'm running Essence Drain. It's only 19 right now, so it's 25. Or wait, 27, sorry. Wrong weapon set. I'm running Chaos Mastery, Swift Affliction, Consider Casting, and Chain. I swapped to Zenith in the boss fight, even though I do have mana sustain problems, but it's okay. Eventually, when I get the fifth slot, I'll be throwing that in there. Contagion. Playing this build, I've become pretty... what's the word? Fuck Contagion. This fucking gem, this skill, it's fucking ass. People say, oh, man, I'm gonna stop taking this node, Rupture the Soul, because it stops Contagion from spreading. Well, you know what? Contagion fucking sucks, and if I could drop it from this build, I probably would. Honestly, I probably could. But it's really not that big of a deal, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. Effigy. Oh, sorry, let me mention the supports. Unleashed, required. Really good clear. Contagion, it says it's only a single enemy. It can hit up to 3. It's pretty inconsistent. It might be a bug, might be intended, not sure. So Unleash, in theory, gets you up to 6 Contagions down. It's a little weird, but it's alright. Magnified Effect, because Contagion AoE is really important. We got the range at like 2.2 meters. Could be more, but I'm okay with it. Chaotic Freeze, this is unnecessary. You don't have to run the freeze variations that I run, but I've noticed that I really like the Shatters. I don't actually know how the damage scaling works on that, but the Shatters is nice, the freeze is nice, and you might look at this and say, oh, well, I don't do hits. Well, you do. You should be casting Essence Drain pretty often. It only has, a 5-second debuff duration, and when you're clearing packs, you'll be casting it a good amount. And more importantly, Totem shoots a lot of hits. Totem is really hit-based. We'll get there right now. So I'm running Chaotic Freeze. And then on Effigy, I'm doing Arcane Tempo. It's bugged. It says it doesn't work, but it's been tested. It works. You can ask. There's a couple different people who run it, who built it. It works. And Venom adds Poison, which is another Chaos dot. Effigy shoots another projectile for each Chaos dot. So it says right here, fires multiple projectiles at enemies afflicted by multiple debuffs. So this adds more projectiles. Projectile scaling is just one way to scale it. Execute makes it do 50% more damage with hits on low life. I think it's really nice for clearing like packs or finishing things off. Helps with rares. And then I'm pretty much spec'd into damage on hits because I think the hits are one of the biggest parts. My POV has a lot of hit damage coming from this. And the reason is from the supports. I think speccing into other nodes aren't that good. I have tried Glaciation on Dark Effigy, it's pretty nice, but I do want more damage. Withering Presence, it's pretty easy. It's just Withering Presence. You throw some supports on it. I have Clarity. Clarity is pretty much mandatory. Vitality, this is a big part of the build. If I remove this Vitality, I drop down to 291. So 386 to 291. And it also makes it so this build, it scales off your life and your shield. I don't know why the energy shield scales the recovery. It shouldn't, in theory, but it does. So stacking life, stacking energy shield, both of those scale your life recovery that is applied through your amulet. I'm running persistence. Persistence is good to put somewhere. I chose to put it here. As far as blasphemy goes, this is what we use to get reliable ruptures, making sure things on the screen are cursed. I use despair to get rupture down a lot, but blasphemy with this build pretty much affects the whole screen. So I run temporal just because it's better than enfeeble. The other effects lasting 25% or like 25% longer, whatever, expire 25% slower. It's pretty big. It's pretty good. The magnitude on blasphemy is it actually cuts it down really badly. So this only inflicts an 18% slow when base is 28. But I have in the skill tree where curses inflict hinder. So it's actually a good amount of slows just off blasphemy based on that. And then I'm running one more support here. Increased recovery from life flask, pretty good. It does work. It does apply your health potion to your energy shield. And if I had more room or more spirit, I would run another one. I would run the 50% freeze duration. But I don't run any spirit on the robe. It's not worth running. And this one only goes so high. So here's that. Despair, Decaying Hex. Decaying Hex does not work on Blasphemy, so you have to run it on a manually casted skill. I'm running Heighten the Curse for Magnitude and Inspiration. Despair does not go on Blasphemy. If you throw Despair on Blasphemy, you're going to get no resistance removed. Right now I have 50. And sometimes it goes up to 60. I don't know exactly what causes that. I haven't really cared enough. I mean, why would I care about something that helps me? But it does do that. And then I have Blink. Now, it is important. Despair and Blink are both on weapon set 2 only. Blink so I can use Spirit from weapon set 2, and Despair because I use the passive weapon set 2 to buff curses. As far as my gear goes, it's pretty easy. This is pretty budget. This is really achievable. Just get +4 on a chiming staff. It doesn't matter what it is as long as it works. I have +4. You want spell damage, you want chaos damage, you want cast speed. Everything is broken down in the Maxroll pretty well. Any gain damages are bad. That applies to the Ascendancy as well. This Unholy Might, it doesn't say it, but once you actually spec into it, it shows you this is gain damage. It's not all damage. Excuse me. So that doesn't work. I was considering eventually running this node as well while we're here. But I really do like getting the buff jewel, especially because there's only 3 jewels on the tree. And getting like 30% energy shield, you could probably get similar spell damage. Like, this is really nice. I think this is better, and I think as you scale into the late game, this gets increasingly better than this node. I'm sorry, back to the gear. I'm running basically life regen anywhere I can. It's on the rings, it's on the belt, it's on the shoes, it's on the body. And I believe that's it, yeah. At Ziri, it's pretty much required. It gives you this stat right here. Max life is an extra max energy shield. That's okay, that's cool. But this right here, 10% of damage taken bypasses energy shield is actually just damage reduction for the build because of how Eternal Life works. That's pretty standard with any of the Lich builds I see. Royal is a really good instill. It's cheap, and it gives you 30% AoE. You notice the difference. Try it without, run a map. Try it with, run a map. Feels really, really good. You could manually get it. I haven't really figured that part out yet. If I want to do that like that, and do a different instill. But it's pretty good. Focus, just get a +2. Spell damage is nice. Chaos damage is nice. Energy shield is nice. And then solve your reses any way you need to, but try to free up your sockets, because these sockets are really, really important. You can put greater rebirth runes, which are 30.35 of max life per second. This converts your max life into energy shield regen. That's why we can stack the numbers so high. Cast speed is really good. I don't want to get cast speed from the tree. I think it's not worth it. So any cast speed you can find on these is super good quality of life. Usually it makes things more expensive and it's really not required, but the more you can get, you know, the nicer your life will be. Getting flask life recovery rate or increased recovery is really nice. My build's mostly just for resistances and life regen. But yeah, try to solve your resistances without runes. Get your max life per second on everything you can. Spell damage on your wand. I'm running iron runes on my chest because it's just that worth it to get more ES. And then to the passive tree, I went over the Ascendancy. This is pretty much required. It's just too good. More mana regen. More... I don't even know how to explain this in one sentence. This provides so many benefits, including not being able to be bled or poisoned. This is responsible for a lot of the AoE. Early, I took the damage nodes. I'll make a leveling build guide if people want it. But late game, getting these two 15% energy shields are really good. I'm struggling with mana regen right now. If you can get mana regen or gain mana on your gear, it kind of alleviates the problem, and you can spec into these cast speed nodes instead. But for me right now, I'm in a bad spot with mana, so I have to go through here. We path to here. This opportunity cost of 3 nodes to access 7% nodes, it's really bad. This sucks. Even this Spiral and Insanity, this fucking sucks. It's alright, it fucking sucks. Energy shield nodes, pretty no-brainer. Reduce max mana, doesn't matter. Mana's pretty much a dead stat on this build. You kind of just spec mana regen, and you're fine. This lowers cast speed, but it's right here, and it has a lot of damage, so we take it. This hinder node is really important. You take it on both weapon sets because you want to have it on blasphemy as well. This right here, these 3 nodes, completely waste, but this right here, this applies to our life regen as energy shield. And it right now, at my current magnitude, it equates to like 50 per second. This is really bad early. Oops, this is really bad early, but it gets really good the higher you get your number, because it's multiplicative. You know, there's no other, you don't have any other recovery rates that you're multiplying by. This is an easy chaos damage node. It's not bad. Minus chaos res is cool. Easy right here. Low opportunity cost. Getting all these 15% nodes, they're pretty optimal. The threshold's really good. Really helps. Same thing, energy shield up here. I should note, this energy shield node, 5% damage reduction. That's what that is. That's what that turns into. Second curse, activation delay doesn't matter because we work on it over here. +1 chaos, this is the most important node. If you're running chaos dot, you need this part right here. I leave it on both sets so it can apply to my despair as well. Energy shield again. My jewels, basically I kind of bought any jewel that helps me. This one is actually my worst jewel. I'll be replacing it later. Gives me some AoE, some freeze, some stun. But the rest of my jewels, they all give energy shield. Energy shield, energy shield, energy shield. You only have a few jewels, so make sure everyone has energy shield. And make sure you can get spell damage on as many as you can as well. Ideally, all 4, both the 3 on the tree and the one in the Ascendancy, have energy shield and spell damage. I think you get chaos damage on it, I forget. Spell or chaos, whatever, doesn't matter. We go into this side. This node only applies to hits, so it's not great, just like Unholy Might. I don't want it. Maybe if I was more focused on effigy, I would still get it. I'm not. These are on weapon set 1, but this right here is not, so I can get the Wither on both sets. Branch off into this curse. It helps with the duration and does reduce life regen and no energy shield. And then I pad down, pick up Eternal Youth, big part of the build. And then I come, and on weapon set 1, I'm able to get all these nodes, including Event Horizon. Doesn't drain your max life, so it's cool, but it's also not a sacrifice skill, so it's not required. 53% increased chaos, really nice, really nice. and then spaghettification. Coming up here to grab some curse activation speed, which is why we don't care about this node. It's pretty important to note that early on, if you're trying to level, you will have to have a different build, and you will have to make changes as you go through. So don't try to just auto pad one to one exactly what I have. This node over here is actually pretty good early because it's pretty close, easy to reach. As far as like where I'm going from here, I'm thinking maybe I'll go to this gem slot. Maybe I'll touch these cast speed. We'll see. I might actually pad towards a royal correctly and instill something else. Like I think it's over here. There's a energy shield and life regen node somewhere, and I might instill that. It's pretty good. And yeah, that should be about it for the passive tree. If there's any questions, my Discord is on my Maxroll. Just make sure you're in the POE2 Discord server, or you can just ask in the comments. As far as like going forward, I've already done Arbiter. Wait, no, not Arbiter. I'm so sorry. The Audience with the King. Pretty broke. Doing tier 15s pretty easily. Make sure when you're mapping, don't touch anything that says reduced life and energy shield regen. That really breaks the build. Temporal chain sucks, but it's doable if you are patient. And that's pretty much it. If there's anybody who can go through and optimize this better than I can, that'd be great. I really like this way of maintaining energy shield. I'm pretty stuck on it, but I'm looking for advice.